Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about silence is a message, okay? So when you're silent on someone, let's say like an ex, you've gone into no contact, you've walked away from them, and basically what this message gives to the other person is, I'm gone. You know, I'm moving on with my life. I can see that this is not working. I can see that we're probably not going to get back together, or I can see that you're never going to change your feelings about me. So therefore, I am gone. I'm moving on. I'm moving on with my life. Now, if you have someone that still loves you and cares about you, if you have an ex that still wants to get back with you, eventually you'll hear from them. They will reach out to you eventually. So this goes into like the no contact rule, okay? And if you're not familiar with my channel, if you're not familiar with the no contact rule, the no contact rule is basically where you go into no contact with an ex in order to reattract them and basically to find out where you stand. Like, because if you go into no contact with an ex and they love you and they still want you and they're still attracted to you, eventually you'll hear from them. But if you do no contact with an ex that doesn't love you, doesn't care about you, you'll just never hear from them ever again, unless you've got things like kids and you've got other things that you need to tie up. Perhaps you're involved in like something to do with a solicitor, you know, you're getting money sorted out or something like that. But usually if you do hear from that ex, it will probably always be about the things that need to be sorted out, like things to do with the kids, things to do with the mortgage, whatever it may be. So one of the most powerful things about silence and going silent on someone is that it gives you your power back. It gives you your self-respect back, especially if you have done things like when the breakup happened, you begged and you pleaded and you was trying to reason with your ex to not break up with you. You was trying to do everything and anything to stop it from happening. So when you go finally stop doing that and you go into no contact and you go silent on them, you know, it gives you a better sense of, this is what's right for me. Because if you are trying to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you, it doesn't feel good, right? And if they don't want to be with you, there's not really much you can do about it, right? So if you're always trying to like make things happen and trying to force a relationship to be reconciled, it's not going to do you any good for your self-esteem and your self-respect, because you're essentially putting yourself somewhere, or trying to put yourself somewhere where you're no longer valued and wanted in the way that you're hoping for. So it's best to stay away from that person, and especially if they were the one that dumped you. Like, if they were the one that dumped you, it has to be their idea to come back. If it was their idea to leave, it has to be their idea to come back. So you have to go into no contact in that sort of situation, for sure, for definite. So it gives you this self-respect back, it gives you your power back to be silent, okay? So in the opposite of that, you know, someone being silent on you is also a message, right? And that message is also the I'm gone. It's also I'm moving on with my life. So if someone has been silent on you, let's say your ex is silent, then that's exactly how they feel. Like, if you haven't heard from them in a very, very long time, they've moved on. They're moving on with their life and they no longer care, essentially. Now, they may care in a sense that they want you to do well, but they no longer have care in the sense of they no longer want to come back. They're not interested in being in a relationship with you. They may not even be interested in talking to you. They're just silently, let's say, hoping that you do well and that you're happy and that you can move on from the relationship, right? But essentially, you know, if someone is silent on you, you have to take no... There's a quote that I really like, and it goes, you have to take... no message is also a message. So if you're not getting any kind of correspondence from your ex, then, especially positive correspondence, then obviously, you know, it's not good, right? They're probably moving on. And obviously, sometimes you may need to talk to your ex, and your ex may need to talk to you, especially if you have kids and other things that you need to get sorted out. Like, perhaps there's a lot of stuff still that they need to collect, or you need to collect from theirs. You know, you've got kids or things like that, or money things sorted out. You know, especially if you're together for a long time, it takes a while for those things to get untangled. So if your ex reaches out to you and they're talking to you about the money problems or something going on with your kids, but it's solely about that, then it's more likely that, you know, they don't want to come back. They just want to talk to you about what needs to be talked about, right? But if they're talking to you in a positive way, like they're inquiring about you, they're like, hey, how are you? What have you been up to? How are you doing? And they're trying to make the conversation last long, and they're not giving you just one-worded responses and things, then that's a good indication that they want to come back, and that they're breaking no contact and they want to see you, they want to talk to you. But what you got to remember is, you know, especially with exes, is do you want them back? You know, you have to ask yourself that. If your relationship was really bad, and, you know, you got to think back basically on the last month of your relationship. How was things? Was it bad? You know, was you angry, upset all the time? Was there a lot of arguments? And if there was, it's probably not a good idea to get back with them, because what's going to happen if you do is you're just going to, you know, it may feel good to begin with, and you might have have good conversations, you know, you might get back in bed with each other and it may feel really good and things seem great, but eventually you're going to slip back into those old habits, and it's just going to happen. It's just going to keep on happening, right? It's just going to go back to the way it was before you broke up, and then another breakup will happen again. But I guess the best thing in that kind of situation is if you do get back with your ex and the bad experiences continue to happen, at least then you can end the relationship on your own terms. Okay, so essentially though, being silent on someone like this, you know, it really does show them that you no longer are going to tolerate being, you know, trying to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you. You have to have that sort of fortitude, right, to be able to stay away and to be able to stay in no contact with them and to stay silent, right? Because that's what's going to give you so much more strength, right? Because once you realize that I shouldn't be with people and I shouldn't try to be with people that don't love me, right? Once you realize that, you know, so much, you know, it's like a whole new world opening up in a way, because you realize that I'm only going to spend time with people that want me there, right? That includes friends, that includes lovers, that includes family members. I'm only going to put myself where I'm wanted, and it kind of opens your eyes up to that idea of, I'm just going to be silent on people that are just not treating me in the way that I don't want to be treated. And that includes your ex, that includes so many different people in your life perhaps, right? And you just have to start treating yourself with so much more respect, right? Because you do deserve respect. You're a human being just like everybody else, and everybody deserves to be around people that love and care about them, okay? So if you would like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com so I can help with your specific situation, because obviously these videos are very, very generalized. So if you do need help with a specific problem, then that link will take you there. So thank you so much for watching. And if there's anything else you'd like me to discuss in a future video, then please leave it down in the comments as well. Thank you again so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.